name's Scott. For 16 years, I was deep inside the insurance business. I saw the gears turning, saw how they used your data against you. Now, I'm the one they're afraid of.
My name is Scott. For 16 years, I was deep inside the insurance business. I saw the gears turning, saw how they used your data against you. Now, I'm the one they're afraid of. I lead an elite team, the ultimate equalizers. When the big corporations squeeze you, you find us at the Diagnostic Denver. I have Chloe, a digital ghost who can crack any firewall. There's George, an old-school grease monkey who knows every bolt on a car. And Addie, our master strategist. She's the brain behind the curtain. The first investigation. A woman comes to us, terrified. Her insurance rates tripled overnight, but she's a perfect driver. She feels watched. We pull her car into the den, and while Chloe dives into the software, George finds it, a hidden sensor on the braking system. The manufacturer was logging every move and selling it directly to the insurance giants. We caught them red-handed, stood up to the big tech companies, and exposed the whole dirty cycle to the world. The ambush. But victory has a price. We were heading back to the garage, just around the corner. Addie and George were in the lead car. Suddenly, 3 black SUVs come out of nowhere, blocking the street with professional precision. Before we can even react, they're dragged out and thrown into the SUVs. They're gone in seconds. Chloe and I jump out of our car, hearts racing. The street is quiet, but there, glinting in the dirt by the open car door, is a flash drive. One of the agents must have dropped it. Chloe plugs it into a tablet right there on the pavement. Her face goes pale. This isn't normal tech. This is advanced. Out of this world advanced. Reinforcements arrive. I'm staring at the chaos, breathing hard. I can't believe this is happening, I mutter. Chloe looks at me, steady despite the fear. Scott, you know people. We need backup. Now. I call him in. Denise, a strategic powerhouse to fill Addie's shoes, and Junior, a mechanical genius to take over George's bay. They arrive, but even they are stunned by the drive's data. It's too much, Denise says. We need a god. So I make the call to the only person who can handle this, Sierra, the grand poobah of the tech world. The sound of rhythmic thumping fills the air. We look up, and there's a helicopter descending directly toward us. Sierra's here. And she's not happy. The team is assembled. The mission is clear. We aren't just investigating anymore, we're going to war to bring our family home. The helicopter blades kick up a storm of dust as Sierra jumps onto the pavement before the skids even touch the ground. She doesn't say hello, she just grabs the flash drive from Chloe's hand and marches into the den. The war room. Scott, Sierra says, her eyes reflecting the blue glow of a dozen monitors, this isn't just a tracking program. This is predictive biometrics. They aren't just watching where George and Addie go. They're monitoring heart rates, stress levels, and pupil dilation through the car's interior cameras. They knew exactly when to strike because they knew exactly when your teen was most distracted. Denise is hovering over a digital map of the city, her eyes narrowing. If they're using tech this advanced, they aren't hiding in a basement. They're using a high-frequency hub. Junior, check the local power grids. Look for a massive surge that doesn't match any commercial building. The discovery. Junior's grease-stained fingers fly across the keyboard. I found it. There's an old insurance processing center on the edge of town. It's supposed to be abandoned, but it's pulling enough juice to power a small stadium. And get this, the security perimeter is using the same encrypted signal Sierra found on that drive. My blood starts to boil. That's where they have them. They're using my old industry's infrastructure to dismantle my new life. The infiltration plan. Sierra cracks her knuckles. I can loop their biometric scanners, but only for 90 seconds. After that, the system will realize the heartbeats it's reading are digital ghosts. 90 seconds is all I need, I say, checking my gear. Denise, you're our eyes in the sky. Junior, you're with me. We're going through the loading docks. We bring George and Addie out, or we bring the whole building down around them. The strike begins. We roll up to the facility in total silence. The black SUVs are parked out front like sleeping predators. Go, Sierra's voice crackles in my ear. The heavy steel doors hiss open as Sierra bypasses the locks. We're inside. The air smells like ozone and expensive server cooling. We move through the shadows, passing floor-to-ceiling glass walls filled with data streams of thousands of unsuspecting drivers. Suddenly, Junior stops. He points to a reinforced door at the end of the hall. I hear George's voice. He's arguing with someone. I signaled for Junior to take the left. I take the right. On the count of 3, we burst through the door, and there they are, Addie and George, strapped into chairs, surrounded by technicians in lab coats. The party's over, I growl, stepping into the light. I'm here for my team. The room goes dead silent. The technicians freeze, their hands hovering over glowing consoles, but George doesn't skip a beat. He looks up at me, a smirk cutting through the grease on his face. About time, Scott. I was just telling these guys their server cooling system is third-rate. Can the critique for later, George, I say, my eyes locked on the lead tech. The confrontation. Addie is already scanning the room, her strategist's mind calculating the exits. Scott, watch the overheads, she shouts. Suddenly, the glass walls frost over, turning into giant display screens. A face appears blurred, digitized, and massive. It's the voice from the broadcast. You're persistent, Sir Cartalk Scott. But you're playing a game of checkers against a supercomputer. You think this is just about insurance? This is about behavioral destiny. We don't just predict the accidents, we provoke them to balance the sheets. My grip tightens on the extraction tool Junior handed me. You're playing with people's lives to save a couple points on a loss ratio. That ends tonight. The chaos breaks. Sierra, now. I yell into my comms. Suddenly, every screen in the room starts flickering wildly. Sierra has unleashed a logic bomb into their mainframe. The technicians scramble as their consoles begin to smoke. I've got the bypass. Sierra's voice rings in our ears. But they're initiating a hard wipe. If that data disappears, we lose the evidence forever. Junior doesn't hesitate. He dives under the main terminal, ripping panels off with his bare hands. I can't stop the wipe, but I can physically pull the core. The great escape. While Junior works the hardware, I'm at the chairs, cutting George and Addie loose. The moment Addie's feet hit the floor, she's already directing traffic. Denise, we need the extraction vehicle at the north loading dock in 60 seconds. Junior, take the drive. Scott, cover R6. We burst out of the server room just as the building's internal alarms transition from a chirp to a deafening roar. Red strobe lights paint the hallways in blood-colored flashes. We reach the loading dock just as a heavy industrial door begins to grind shut. It's closing too fast. George yells. Junior slides the massive server core across the floor like a hockey puck, wedging it right under the descending door. The metal screeches, sparks flying as the door crushes into the titanium casing, leaving just enough of a gap for us to roll through. The regroup. We tumble out into the cool night air just as Denise swerves the van into a controlled slide, the side door flying open. We pile in Addie, George, Junior, and me as she floors it. I look back at the facility. It's dark. Sierra has blacked out the entire block. We got them, I breathe, leaning back against the vibrating wall of the van. And we got the core. George looks at Junior, then at me. Nice kid you found, Scott. A bit messy with the wiring, but he's got heart. Addie looks at the glowing core in Junior's lap. This isn't just evidence anymore. This is the entire blueprint of their operation. They're going to come at us with everything they have now. I look out the window at the Oklahoma City skyline. Let them come. The diagnostic den just grew a lot bigger. The van screeches into the diagnostic den, the tires smoking as the heavy steel doors slam shut behind us. We're safe, but the air is thick with the smell of ozone and burnt silicon. The aftermath. Everyone out. Now. I bark. Junior and George lug the massive, dented server core onto the central workbench. It's still hot to the touch, humming with a low, predatory vibration. Sierra is already there, her fingers hovering over a clean terminal. She doesn't even look up as we pile out of the van. Get that thing plugged into the isolated grid. If I connect this to the main house net, their Project Payback virus will eat us alive from the inside out. Junior and George, the old guard and the new, work in a blur of synchronized motion. They bypass the crushed casing and snake heavy-duty data cables into Sierra's rig. The revelation. The monitors flicker, then stabilize. Thousands of lines of code begin to cascade down the screens like digital rain. Sierra's eyes widen. Scott, this is bigger than insurance. This is bigger than cars. She pulls up a map of the United States. It's covered in millions of tiny, pulsing red dots. Each dot is a person. They aren't just buying driving data. They've linked it to medical records, grocery receipts, even smart home thermostats. They're using the car's GPS to see where you shop, then raising your premium if you buy too much red meat or heart medication. Addie leans over the desk, her face grim.
Welcome to my channel, and remember to like and subscribe.